couple years back I made this stand with simple power tools. After using it for few weeks, I found some drawbacks in the design, and the major one is the size of the head. Second, I don't want to use the dome nut again. That's why I designed Mark II of Alienware stand. I slightly resized the design, and now I have access to the CNC. I do some more detailed work inside my design, because this time I definitely don't want it to be looked simple. I have a couple of options of these kinds of gaming stands if you guys are willing to work with me. So without further wasting any more time, let's rock and roll. So starting off this build by cutting out this 5" by 3/4" inch piece of Brazilian ipe wood to the required section. I choose this because it's quite hard and durable and will last long. Then I move on to my CNC, but before that I apply double-sided tape to the back so that it will stay at its place during the machining. Then I mark the center onto the piece and stick the piece onto the bed and start the process.
The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you.
The character wrote onto the piece is the name of Alienware in alien font, which looks quite interesting, and you can download these fonts from the website link in the description section.
How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now if you know what you're worth, then go out and get what you're worth, but you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Once the text has been machined onto the piece, I cut out 2" die circle so that I can insert the acrylic rod, which serves as a neck for my stand. I got 2 pieces of same design, but the second one, which served as the base of the stand, didn't have those detailed work in it. Then I cut the same design onto a piece of 1/2 inch thick acrylic. The one big mistake I did for this project is choosing the extrude acrylic rather than the cast acrylic. As soon as I started the machining process, within 2 or 3 passes, the acrylic started melting. Then I cut the material for the top and start the machining onto it. For the head, I cut down 2 identical pieces. Then I cut down the head shape onto the piece of acrylic as well.
And keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. You're better than that.
I cut them 3 pieces at a time, but then at the end used 2 of them to reduce the bulkiness of the head. Then I start the preparation for the machining on the back side of the bottom pieces, and for that I made a cavity inside the ply and insert the base and start the machining. I machined this area 6 mm down from the top so that I can lay the LED into this without any trouble. I also machined a small cavity below the previous machined area so that I can install the controller into the stand. This is the LED controller which I am using to control the LED into this build. I also machined at the back side of the character as well, so that the light can easily pass through them. Here you can see it's completely see-through. Then I made a jig to hold the headpiece so that I can machine onto the back side so that I can lay the LED strip into that portion. Then I remove the tabs and do some little bit of filing to clean up the mess. Here you can see the portion where I am going to install the controller and sandwich the acrylic in between those triangular pieces. Then I work onto the neck area, and for that I temporarily stick all the head pieces with double-sided tape and clamp them into the vise, and then drill 2-inch diameter hole with the help of hole saw. Then I remove the uncut area onto the CNC and jigsaw so that I can install the acrylic rod. Once everything has been completed, I move on to the next process, and for that, first of all, I trim the rugged edges of the rod with the help of my miter saw. Once the rod has been cut to the required length, I mark the center location and drill a 10 mm hole throughout so that I can feed the wire for the connection. I drilled 2 holes slightly at an angle so that the wire can insert it into the main hole without interrupting the anchor portion. Then I drill a 10 mm hole into the head so that I can join the neck and the head together. For that I am using 10 mm thread rod piece. Then I mix 2-part epoxy resin and glued up the head and the neck piece together. Then I work on to the lighting part. For the material I am using RGB 50/50 LED strip. Off camera I made a slot so that I can feed the wire from bottom to the head portion. Once the cavity has been cut off them into the required section. I also remove the protective covering from the controller as well. To remove the bulkiness of the power connector, I also peel off the plastic from it and reduce the diameter so that I can install it into the acrylic portion. After that, I drilled 8 mm hole into the acrylic so that I can feed the power connector into that. To increase the reflection from the surface, I use this aluminum tape as a reflector and stick them to every visible portion. Then I shift the position of IR sensor to slightly above so that it will receive the signal easily. Then I lay the LED strip into the cavity area and connect them with each other. Once the connection has been completed, I made a test run and everything works fine. Once everything has been checked, I secure all the connection with hot glue. After that, I work onto the eyes, and for that, I made a casting blank with glow in dark color mixed in it and allow it to cure for 24 hours. Meanwhile, I also fill the machine area of the base with epoxy resin. Once the casting of the slab has been cured, I machine the surface to make it flat. Then I cut out the blank out of the glow-in-dark casting. I made these eyes slightly curvy and give it a machine texture which looks quite interesting. That I glue the eyes with CA glue. Then I wrap the headpiece with stretch tape because it didn't leave any residue. After that I mark the whole location onto which I am going to drill holes so that I can make a single piece. After drilling the holes, I counted the holes with 10 mm counterweight because I am using M6 Allen head screws as a fastener to fasten these pieces. After that, I sand off the outer edge to blend all the layers together. To diffuse the light into the neck portion, I also sand it up to 320 grit sandpaper. I also sand off the base up to 320 grit sandpaper. Then I wrap the tape onto the base and mark the whole location, drill, counter and tap them as well to make a solid base for my stand. Off camera, I sand off all these rugged edges and blend all the layers together. Then I mix 5-minute epoxy and glue the base with the neck. Then I cleaned off the excess glue, squeeze out, solder them together with the base and check the connections. After that I assemble the piece and clean off all the areas with the help of acetone to remove any loose dirt and apply 3 coats of linseed oil. When the stand has been finished off, I'm quite happy with the outcomes and it looks quite similar to which I think during the design. If you like this build, then don't forget to subscribe, like and comment. And make sure to share this video. Till then, be creative and keep making.
We about to turn it on.